struggle with this a little bit, using a microphone technique. First of all, welcome. Thank you very much indeed for struggling through the traffic to our course. Yes, upstairs. Yes.
That's the kids, and Phillip was hysterical, silence he was following. We did get fairly hysterical with Roy, because he was very, very funny in the film, and he was very funny in the sense. And he was always cracking jokes, just before the take. So there were times when we were severely rapped over the knuckles by our director, because we were a little bit hysterical with Roy sometimes. He was always tap dancing, you see. If he got the opportunity, he tapped down those dreadful Dalek tunnels behind the Dalek. So that was quite difficult to maintain, being sensible sometimes. But what a joy, what a joy. What a lovely, lovely cast. And dear old Peter, who I knew as a friend and worked in the theatre with, eventually in a play called Park by Ben Travers. And we worked together.
I worked with him in France, but in sad circumstances, because he had just lost his wife. And when we worked together down there, I remember asking him, "Do you want to come out and see me?" And we were close friends, after several years. And then he wrote a note to me, having accepted, and said, "Don't worry, come down, and I'll be very back. Good company." And it was a tragedy in a way, because he was one of the most, as Jennie said, likeable, genuine people in business. And really, in the end of your career, however long you've been, you could pick out really a real compassionate, real gentleman man by one hand. That's not to say there's a lot more likeable people in business. There's sort of special people and people as well. And he didn't come out, and but there was a feeling afterwards. I've kept, and never keep letters like this, but his was, again, something that was written in his way, meaning it wasn't a traditional kind of fan letter, it was one that had understood, it was one of understanding what I was trying to do, or what did, and how it came over. And for that reason, from him, personally, that's what I've kept it. Now, as I said, you don't get around to a lot of people pushing around. So, and he was flying in the face of the character, of his character that he created in so many films, as being the act of villain in many ways, and yet he was the opposite, the total opposite.
Yeah. Do you think that was kind of a purpose for him, because he was so known for Hammer horror and everything else, that he was suddenly taking on a nice, warm, gentle character, and to appeal to the children? Was more of a release for him?
I think there may be an investigative kind of professor, detective, or whatever. Certainly that perception. He's not going to play an idiot, something like that. But it is still came as a surprise, it comes as a surprise to anybody who's got to know him, that this man is really gentle, and nothing to do with the persona that he appeared to suggest to the public.
Mark, a good answer.
Yes. So.
We've just seen, obviously, got through the Daleks. The set, it's amazing. We were looking downstairs on the plasma screens. So what were they like? Was it easy to suspend belief that you really were on an alien planet?
Absolutely, they were amazing. And I realised, in the second film, which Phillip was in, they had a location, and ours didn't. We were Chesterton for the whole time. I do remember seeing the sets for the first time. They were vast, they were totally believable, and it was incredibly exciting, because very little stuff to do, which I think was a couple of months ago, I didn't know, down at Chesterton every day, and that was very, very exciting. And the corridors, they had sort of like 4 corridors, which they slightly pushed around to make it look like 100 corridors. But it was so clever. Exactly. This was so clever. And the mountain I had to climb actually was quite frightening, because it was quite high. And it was rather perpendicular too. I thought, what? It wasn't, it was quite high. It was incredibly clever. So, yeah.
What was it like working with the Daleks? Obviously, they're the big stars of the show, apparently. Usually, but never mind. You know, what were they like? I mean, they look so massive on screen and big, threatening.
Yeah, well, that's the trick, really, isn't it? They had the most charming people inside them. They were all rather small then. And I gathered today that the Daleks in the latest Doctor Who film, the Daleks inside, and they forgot to switch the lights on, apparently, so the speech of the Dalek had to be completely controlled by this light mechanism. So those guys working those Daleks disaster off, because they were doing a lot of things, you know, smacking the head and rubbing the tummy at the same time, and going down the corridors, and being chased by all that stuff. But no, it's not always easy. You have to suspend the music. You have to sort of put yourself in a rather human way to make it as easy. But they were intriguing, and I think they're even more intriguing in the latest series. I'm so interested they brought those back as a major part of the series when you are.
And Philip, you came to a very famous sticky ending in the film we're going to see. Didn't it cross your mind that they might just shoot it?
No. My real memory is, it shows it's genuine because I can't actually remember where we did it. I was only on location, and I think it was in Hertfordshire, and I lived there, and I know it wasn't far from where I lived. And I arrived at the time given, which would have been stayed, like an hour and a half or something before it was time to do the scene, start the scene. And the first thing, it's in an open field, and I had the impression of like an artificial hill having been put together. So I think it's at least partly true, because I remember approaching, and then somebody waving saying that act was action. And I didn't really know much about this whole setup. And as I came up to it, out of this hill, there was this noise. And then I had a great on the spot, and watched Daleks go out of the side. So it was great. And then the shot finished. They were coming on rail there. It was a long go to it. And they stopped. And then the foot came out like that. And the two of them, and these two small men who'd been sitting on seats in the Dalek, in the machine, got out. And they said, that's right, there's Jim and Bill. Jim and Bill Dalek has cleared for lunch. I can't remember Jim and Bill, it was something Bill and Jim or Jim and Bill, something like that. And then I thought, this is the comedy of it all at the time, and these two men just speeches and went off for lunch now. But I had witnessed something that not a lot of people have witnessed at that early stage. And it's very interesting. Then of course comes the end, and I think that was, I couldn't see a reason for it except perhaps the writer had run out of any feasible. Even though I've been very good to the Daleks and helped them out and betrayed the Doctor and all that sort of thing, they then destroy me, which was to prove that the Daleks had no sense of judgment and no conscience. So if anybody did sympathize with the Daleks, that was that they realized that it doesn't pay to be societal evil creatures like that. And I was the living proof, and then the dead proof when I was gone. So it really is a central piece to the history of Daleks. I don't think it's not anywhere.
I know you're going to be watching a new series. Are you proud to be a part of this history? And what do you think of Mr. Eccleston's Doctor?
What a love question. Yes. I think it's an incredible series. I think the imaginative power of Russell Davis and the writer last night, Stephen Moss. I just think, and the two artists, Chris and Phillip, I think are sensational. I think it's a program I really look forward to it in the week. So yes, the answer is yes, I'm part of this way back. But isn't it sensational? And it's so interesting because show business is always ahead. It will always be writing about what will probably happen. It's always ahead. Playwrights, and the television and the film. And, you know, the Doctor Who stuff, we may be looking at it with huge eyes now, but it's probably not so far away. Really. That's what I love about it.
And Philip, you used to have views on Eccleston Fox as well.
Well, I've only seen two because I've been away. I got back this morning 3 o'clock from Egypt. And
so many.
you see Tutankhamun and seen me. It's the mummy effect. It's vivid. Above all, it's vivid and precise. And if he can get people, like the two they got, to portray that, then he's on a winner. And the fact that this is only staying for the one series, I mean, that's sad, but it nevertheless proves that Russell can keep on creating, and he will. And it's exciting because it gives a good actor the chance to bring his personality. If you don't do that clearly, it's a bit wooden. But you've got to find your way, and it's an instinctive way. You don't really look around and think, what do I do? It's what appeals to you to make something dramatic and comic positive at the same time. Then it can be very, very effective. And Billy is a huge and very pleasant surprise. I mean, she's so effective. There's something, and she's very good looking. That's not unimportant. Very, very effective. But you keep on using, and you see, our imaginations are so wide, aren't they? The potential of our imagination, of what we can do, and as we said, God knows what the future of our living is, of our lives are, of the things that we at this moment know nothing about. But there is a potential for thinking about the things we know nothing about, incorporating into drama. I think Russell is one of those who's found a way of doing that. So the potential is endless, which is, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because eventually there's a potential explored and exploited as much as it can be.
I think your name, Philip, was bandied around once to be a doctor.
Yes.
Would you have done it?
Yes. That's all it was bandied about. We worked it out from people who are still involved. It came up to my house 27 years ago. It was Phillip thing. And a lot, in many ways then, I mean, you don't think about it a lot, because unless somebody actually offers people, makes us a real positive offer, what's the point of then wishy-washy thinking about it all? But you knew enough about a setup to think, right, if you did it, you would be doing yours, as I was saying just now, even all those years ago, and you wouldn't be Bill Hartnell, you wouldn't be the others, but somehow or other, if they wanted you, it's because they wanted you for what you appear to offer. So, if one did it now, it would be again the instinctive thing, directing, dictating the shape, and then they get into what is peculiar, what the writer will know. Because if you've got a great writer, he'll find out what's peculiar to you and bring that out. And then, if the combination of all things works, then you've got a successful show. So the answer to that is yes. The possibilities of repeating character of the Doctor are endless.
Second movie.
No, not really, because what happened was I was working on another film, and I'd accepted that. It was a film called Women in Love by the Echelons, and that seemed to me, in many ways, I didn't really want to be just connected with one particular series ever. And I did some stints as what was called a guest artist, even though they're little. And I did a lot of that sort of stuff and one-off plays. But I didn't want to be particularly connected with one character. So I happened to be also filming, and so they went another way, and I think that was fine. So it wasn't a case of I wasn't offered it or in that way, or I was offered it. It was just that I was doing another movie.
Yeah, on to Philip. Gentleman right at the back, take a shout.
Reading on television.
Yeah.
I didn't think of a comparison so much as you wouldn't if you look at the character you're being offered and the storyline, and again you look at how well it's written. That means how easily do you learn it and what instinctively comes to you on how to play it. And I did 4 stories. At the time, of course, you're just doing them because you think that's good, nice director, David Maloney had a big influence on me early on, and in subsequent series, nothing to do with Doctor Who. I did the last of the Mohicans. That was David Maloney. The link between that and Doctor Who was him, and then other classical serials was him. But in effect, what you judge it by is what appears to you and how it can be done. And within, for example, the one that over the years has proved certainly insane. It was very dramatic, but there were lots of moments that were very genuinely funny, that were not ridiculous, they were funny if you wanted to play it that way and still remain truthful. So if you can still do that, then you should take that opportunity rather than stick to the straight line, because it's going to give variety, but it doesn't deviate too far. And I thought a lot of the lines there still, to me, that last story, I actually laughed myself. Because you don't expect things to last. You expect after years that it might be slightly old-fashioned. And I did look at that and I thought, no, it's not old-fashioned. The directors put it together very well. And Tom and I worked well. And my two assistants, when I played Frankenstein, one of them, actually, I met years later, and I said, and I suddenly went into the library, and I took out a book on magic. I said, yes. He said, so I'm now a magician. And he says, like this, and we sit together, and I said, having coffee, you sit there, and I sit there. And he says, you see, it's like that, you see, it's like, what do you say, I do close magic, and I do other magic. He goes, well, see that? I said, well, I'm showing you in my hands now, I'm right next to you there. Yeah? So there's nothing there, is there? I said, no, yes there are. And there were 5 balls and then 5 balls at the end. I was so impressed by that. I thought, I might give this up and become a magician. It's a memory associated with that, which is always a very, very interesting and enjoyable job to do with the Breda Movies. So those little memories bring back a lot of that enjoyment, and especially that one. It's still in my mind. Darren Brown is a favourite of mine, so if you watch him, that's what I like to do.
Right, I think I've been told that the film is ready to be shown, so I'd just like to say a big thank you to Phillip and to Jennie for giving their time on a Sunday to come see you all and me, and thank you very much indeed. Still going to be signing after this film downstairs in the foyer, so you haven't missed your opportunity to get your autographs and things. All right. It's late to watch, so I'll have to be good at night.